Ahoy! Welcome into the Junk Drawer, part of the Korked podcast network. It's officially the worst sports week of the year. So glad you made it even worse by tuning into this podcast. Today is July 12th, 2021. I'm Austin. That's AD. What's up, AD?
Austin, do I look chiller or did I just get back from California? You tell me.
I was going to say, I noticed something different about you. Like your hair looks a little saltier.
A little longer, maybe a little tanner.
A little longer. Yeah, I was going to say, you definitely look like you've been hashtag chill for a week, spending it all on hashtag Cali.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that obvious, but it's definitely looking pretty obvious.
Well, welcome back. We missed you last week.
Thank you. I missed you too. I missed Kyle too. I was happy you could fill in for me.
Yeah. Kyle Ayers was in last week, jumping in for you. So good. Yeah, it was a great sode, if you will. Please subscribe, rate, and review. I have to legally say that at the top of every podcast. Right. Mm-hmm. It's our Surgeon General's warning to please subscribe, rate, and review. And also, if you want to comment along during this show, you can help make the show better with your input, with your comments, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, it doesn't matter. You can comment and we'll get those comments and we'll put some of the best ones up on the show and you can interact with us that way.
Also, real quick, Austin, I don't know if you can see this here, but if you like Korked Bats and you like what we're doing, check out the merch we got in the store here. Korked Bats.
That's true.
KorkedBats.com/store.
Yeah. That's what I believe they call a shameless plug.
And
also, if you like what we do, if there's any way you can help us get our Instagram account back,
that too. It might be a tall ask, but that too.
The Instagram account still down, and it still sucks. Thank you, UFC and Dana White, for getting our account deactivated. We would love to get it back. We promise we will never share another UFC piece of content ever again. So if you could help us out that way.
We actually sort of feel like Conor McGregor did on Saturday with a broken leg.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it was like as if the UFC came in and shattered our ankle and we just fell back helpless. And then
this was 2 months ago and we haven't had surgery yet.
And then we're sitting in the corner of the octagon just yelling and like screaming, being non-threatening at all towards UFC. Like, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill you. Your wife slid into me DMs, even though we don't have DMs right now because our account is deactivated.
Right.
That was us. Yes.
Yes.
Looking like a total loser like McGregor on Saturday night. That's been us for the last over 2 months now. Since
we know how you feel, Conor.
Since UFC took away our account. Yeah, Conor, we relate with you in. Well, that's probably the only way we will relate with you. But
Right.
All right, let's get to some good back ugly. AD, what's your good of the week?
My good of the week, it's a little unconventional. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Okay.
So
all right.
They are my good of the week because many people were watching the European Cup yesterday, or the Euro Cup.
Yeah, the Euro. What are we calling it officially? Like, because we want to sound like super cool soccer guys. So, are we like, oh, we watched the Euro this weekend?
It's Euro, right? It is like if you watched it, it's the Euro.
But then, how do you know if you're watching soccer or just a Greek sandwich?
Oh, well, then that changes everything,
right?
But, I mean, luckily Greece wasn't in it, so we didn't have to worry about that. But
right,
Prince Harry, I think this was what 6, I don't even know the timeline. 8 months ago, let's call it. They moved out of England, and maybe, just maybe, they could see this coming. Like they knew.
Oh.
Italy was going to take it. They knew Italy had it under control the entire time. And to be quite honest, they were embarrassed to be English. And they just could see what was happening, and they got out of there. They got out of Dodge.
I actually kind of like that take. So you're saying Harry and Meghan Markle were like, this team is going to embarrass us during Euro.
Perhaps some penalty kicks.
Yeah, what do they say? Bring it home. Bring it home.
Yes.
Was that
Yeah,
is that
sure.
the slogan?
I think so. Yeah.
And then they changed it to Bring It Rome when Italy won. That was actually kind of funny.
That is
The
funny. That is funny.
So they knew, they were like, oh my gosh, we're going to get embarrassed. So let's just up and bounce out of here now before, it's like when you're like hanging out at the bar, like with your drunk friend, like, he's going to piss his pants. So you want to get out of there before he does, because then you don't want to have to deal with him. And like,
You don't want to be associated with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I like that take.
And what a painful way to lose, though, and penalty kicks like that. It's just like, do you think they were watching? Do you think they were like, yeah, like I'm sure they were watching.
Yeah.
They were watching.
Yeah, because that's like England. That's like their thing is soccer. I don't think they're watching the NFL. Like that's their NFL is like a bunch of dudes kicking a ball around.
Unless it's the Jaguars, then they'll be watching it.
That's true. Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever game's at Wembley on a Sunday, then they're watching that probably as well. But yeah,
to make matters worse, it was in front of their home crowd too. So like all of England must have been so depressed last night. I can't imagine being in that situation. And then what does Italy get out of there right away? Like, do they say, all right, we got to get out of England before riots happen, because this could get ugly around here.
Yeah. If you're Italy, you're like, all right, let's look. We're not even stopping for pizza on the way out of town. We are getting out of here. Get on the bus. We'll celebrate back, and we'll bring it Rome, and then we'll party then.
There's better pizza at home anyway, so
that's true, right? Yeah, if you're Italian, why are you stopping for pizza in England anyway? Don't even stop for the lasagna.
You got to be nuts,
right?
But yeah, so that's my good of the week. I think they made a good move, and that just solidified it yesterday that they made a good decision on their behalf.
Yeah, sure. So my good of the week. My good of the week is Richard Branson.
Oh, yes.
Like, I don't know about you, AD, but I am a massive Richard Branson guy, and I don't know why. I
didn't know that about you.
I'm just so intrigued by the guy. Okay, like I am.
First off, how old is he? Because just looking at this picture before you start the video, his hair is obviously white, so that makes sense. But what's going on with the beard?
That's a great question. Let's try and guess. Richard Branson age. I haven't looked it up yet.
I mean, he's got to be in his 80s, I would think, like 81 maybe.
If you got any guesses, you can hop them in the chat right now. I'm going to say I'm going to say 79.
That's probably a better guess, because he probably is not 80 yet.
He doesn't look like he's 80. He doesn't look like he's 80.
He's definitely very fit, though. Like, there was like that video of him like riding the bike up to the spaceship.
Yeah,
like he's clearly got, he's like in shape.
The guy, I think he just works out and lays on beaches all day. I think that's like his daily schedule. Richard Branson, and he's like Cheryl, like his assistant or whatever. Cheryl, what's on my agenda today? She's like, well, you got to lay on the beach till 11:45, and then you got to ride a bike to lunch, and then you got to ride back your bike back to lunch. Back to the beach, and then and then she's like, and then at 3 you're going to space. He's like, okay. which that brings me to one question. Can you do a Richard Branson impression?
No,
I am Richard Branson.
That's pretty good. But at what point do you think he squeezes in the beard dyeing during his day? Because that's got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, that is not natural. It's like, not saying there a lot about Richard Branson is natural, but the right, beard dye definitely not.
He's a Just for Men ad. He's just a walking advertisement for them.
All right, so what was your guess on his age?
I said 81.
81, and I said 79. AD, would you believe me if I said he's 70 years old?
70?
He's 70.
Oh my gosh.
I thought he was much older.
He's probably listening to this extremely mad right now. He's like, these guys thought I was in my late 70s.
Richard Branson, I'm so sorry. I love you, Richard, and I just think you're one of the most unique. In fact, like when people always ask you, like, who's someone you would get lunch with, dead or alive, or like
It was
has to
him.
be alive, like who would you get someone? Yeah, like he's on my short list because I want to. He's just so interesting to me. He's so interesting to me. Jordan Matthew 21 says he's at least 500. That's a good guess, Jordan.
That would have been my next guess.
AD and I were right there with you. We too think he was like 500, but no, actually just 70. It's wild.
Well, here's something that's going to blow your mind. Jeff Bezos. Do you know how old he is? Because I just wanted to compare the two. Because obviously, Jeff Bezos has more money than him, but like.
Yeah, and we know. So Richard Branson literally just beat him to space 9 days before him.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I'm going to say Bezos is 59. I think he's a lot younger.
You're pretty close. He's 57, but that's just
all right.
So in 13 years, how rich is Bezos going to be? I mean, he's actually going to Mars. Like he's actually going to make that happen. Him or Elon, I guess.
Oh yeah. It's only a matter of time. Like this is like, because when you get this rich, you like the threshold level of like what keeps you entertained is so much higher. Like for us, the threshold to keep us entertained is like, maybe a couple of beers and Netflix. But like the more money we'd get, it'd be like, okay, a couple of fancy beers and Netflix.
IPAs, a couple
maybe,
IPAs.
Yeah, maybe Disney Plus as well.
Yeah.
Like it would just keep going higher and higher. They're to the point where it's like the only thing that keeps them entertained is freaking outer space, getting to outer space. And so Jeff Bezos is like, I'm going to space. And Richard Branson's like, no, you're not. No, not before me.
Not so fast.
My Richard Branson's getting worse and worse.
That was good. That was good. Do you think if Warren Buffett wasn't so old that he would be in this race as well, in the space race?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because Warren Buffett lives in Nebraska.
So he has no desire to go.
Warren Buffett lives in like a house that like AD, like your parents' old house. Like,
oh yeah.
Like it is a small house, just very quaint in the middle of like Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, so right.
If my man was looking to go to space, he'd be living on like a Tony Stark mansion in Malibu. That's what he would be doing, but he's not. So Branson became the first person to blast off in his own spaceship, beating Jeff Bezos by 9 days. Here's the answer to how old he is. The nearly 71-year-old entrepreneur and 5 crewmates from his company reached an altitude of about 53 miles over the New Mexico desert, enough to experience a few minutes of weightlessness and see the curvature of the earth. And they safely glided back home to runway landing. So technically, like, he didn't really go to space, because apparently there's like some line that like astronauts use as like when you're officially in like outer space, and he was just below that line.
So like it was still no gravity, right? But
it was no gravity, right? But only for a few minutes. Like it was kind of like one of those planes where you go up and then you come back down and like you're weightless for a little bit.
Oh, like, yeah.
It was kind of like that, only just closer, and they could see the curvature of the earth, as it said, but like,
fair.
Is that space? Like, and not to get nitpicky, not, like it's more space than I've ever been to, like I took a Southwest flight to LA one time. Like that was the closest I got to the moon ever.
I was on a plane yesterday. So was I in space technically for a minute?
I mean, according to Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, because Bezos is doing the same thing.
He's doing the same thing. Okay.
That's his space flight. So it's like, are they really going to space, you guys? like, and Bezos is bringing that like 80-year-old woman who was like failed, wanted to be an astronaut, and she's not. So like, she's finally achieving her dream. That's not like girl wanted to go to space. She just wanted to be weightless for 4 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Right. So all right, but the best part about Richard Branson going to space is my man's speech. Okay, he gave a speech while he was in space. Okay, now AD, when you think of famous speeches, what do you think of?
The Gettysburg Address. Gettysburg
Address. That's a great one. As a Pennsylvanian, sure. What about Neil Armstrong?
MLK's speech, or that's one small
MLK's
step for
I
man.
Had a Dream.
Yep.
Neil Armstrong is One Small Step for Man, One Giant Leap for Mankind. Very inspiring speeches. Just like truly move you like in here. Richard Branson, he makes it up to space, and he gives one that might blow all of those out of the water. Okay.
Oh,
you ready for this?
Yeah, well, I'm ready.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child.
Yeah, you might have to like read it as we go. Can they hear that out there?
Now I'm an adult in a spaceship with lots of wonderful adults looking down to our beautiful, beautiful Earth. For the next generation of dreamers, if we can do this, just imagine what you can do. Hey!
Hey! The little A at the end is probably.
And then look at him.
This is
right,
so
he says to all the kids down there, I was once a child with a dream, looking up at the stars. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship with lots of other wonderful adults looking down to our beautiful, beautiful Earth. To the next generation of dreamers, if we could do this, just imagine what you can do. Yay!
So I have a couple questions about that. Number one, who wrote that for him? Number two, how many times did he practice it before the flight? Like he had to practice that a million times in the mirror. You know,
look, I'm not a big like public speaker, but I have to imagine like I was probably like I would have been like really nervous. Like he's probably more nervous to give this speech than he was to go up into actual space.
Hey, what do you mean you're not a public speaker? Didn't you speak in front of thousands of people this weekend?
All right, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. So I love like there's one point in the speech where he's like, where he goes, I was once a child with a dream, looking up to the stars, yada yada. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship and with lots of other wonderful adults looking down to a beautiful, beautiful Earth. It's right here where he's like, to the next generation of dreamers, if we can do this, he stops and he's like,
he forgot it for a second.
Well, he doesn't know what he's going to say. He's like, he wants to be inspiring. He goes, just imagine what you can do. It's like,
as a billionaire. Yeah.
Thanks, Richard Branson.
yeah, right.
You know, I was having trouble imagining what I could do as a dreamer, but now that you said it, you know what? I think I definitely can. So
I think I'm gonna dream it then.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. He's got the whole speech written out here in the caption too.
Oh my gosh! So it was written beforehand. Like this is not like an organic.
I mean, I guess no. I think he said it on the fly. And then it was just transcribed into the caption. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah. Well. Yeah. So. Okay. So wow. Since you brought it up, this was actually another one of my goods because I had a pretty dope weekend.
You had a pretty epic weekend, we can say.
It was pretty cool. So Windy City Smokeout was this weekend here in Chicago, and it was it was awesome in the sense that like you have all of these pit masters from all over the country flown into Chicago to just do barbecue and to play country music, basically. So it's a country music festival with barbecue just everywhere, and it's delicious and it's awesome.
Did you have some barbecue?
And I will get to that. So Friday night, with my new job with US 99, I'm asked to do stage announcements for the night that Darius Rucker, Ryan Hurd, Morgan Evans, and Darius Rucker. We had to introduce them, and then we introduced all the pit masters, and it was awesome. And we got video. Our station got video of me giving the stage announcements for Darius, and I'm just gonna pull it up. It was honestly, I mean, like getting to introduce Hootie at any level of his career.
Hootie, yeah.
Career highlight.
That's so cool. Watching that video gave me like goosebumps, dude. It was insane.
Yeah, here, let me pull it up. So I walk out, literally just sea of people, and people, not just a sea of people, but a sea of people waiting to get back to concerts for over a year and a half. This is like the first big festival in Chicago. Oh, and up there in the left-hand corner, that's just the United Center where Michael Jordan won 6 championships. So like I'm in the shadows of greatness already, both in front of me there to the United Center, and then behind me with Hootie standing on the side of the stage waiting to come out. So
we come out shining next to you too.
Is that what?
The sun shining down on you too.
Oh yeah, the sun setting. It's literally like a perfect night. The weather's incredible. Perfect. Yeah. So we go out and we're like, hey, do you guys mind if we get a selfie? And so we get the selfie. It was phenomenal. And then I tweeted this video if you care to watch the whole thing. But it's so then we come out and we read the accolades for Darius. Yes. The record rep gives us a couple of things like, hey, maybe you can mention some of these if you'd like. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm mentioning every single one of these. Are you kidding me? It's Hootie. This is one of those. It was like one of those things where it's like I literally could have said anything. I could have been like, I just pooped my pants. And everyone would have gotten nuts. Like it was literally awesome. The crowd was phenomenal. What
was it? 9 what?
9 country music singles. Number 1 country music singles. So then Melissa, that's my co-host. She reads a couple, and then she says, Capital Nashville recording artist, and then so she says, everyone take off your hats.
Oh, that's sweet.
I turn back to the drummer. I'm like, Jeff, you ready? You ready, Jeff? And Jeff's like, oh, I'm ready. And so I'm like,
that's super cool.
Here we go.
Were you the one that said Darius Rucker? That was
yes.
you, right?
Yeah. And so this is the crazy part right here. Okay. This is the part that not a whole lot of people are in on this. Right here. Can you see my mouse moving?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right here. That's Hootie, my man. That's Hootie.
Darius right there.
In the flesh. And he comes up to me right here. He beelines it right towards me. We do one of those bro hugs. I literally bro hugged Hootie. And Hootie, he said something to me. What does he say? I couldn't hear him.
Oh no! And he probably said like, "Thanks, man," or like
he said something along the lines of, "Man, what was that?" Like that, like I don't know what that was, or something like.
He probably couldn't hear you either.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, oh man, like, dude, yeah, go kill it. I don't know what I said to him back, but he literally gives me a bro hug, and I nearly fainted, and that was.
You had quite the weekend.
That was the highlight of my weekend, without question.
That's amazing. I'm happy I got to hear that recap too. That was to get the hug too. That's special.
And that was special. Like, it was like look, getting to hype up the crowd and get them fired up for Hootie. That was phenomenal. That was incredible. Life moment, a career moment for me.
You brought great energy too. That was incredible.
I appreciate that. Yeah. That was my goal. I wanted to get Chicago hype for literally one of the greatest country music artists of all time, and one of the greatest just musicians of all time. And then coming back and him like acknowledging that, because like there were some artists that we introduced that they didn't come out right away. We introduced them. It was like kind of like a soft intro.
Okay.
But he came out right after us, which I'm glad he did, because we got the crowd hype. We got them up.
Well, maybe they could feel that. They could feel that energy. They're like, oh, we got to go out now. So
then right after that, we had access to the artist tent the whole night. there was very little food back there. There were like snacks and stuff, but not much food. So I was like, we got to get some barbecue. And I hadn't eaten all night. And this was like towards the end of the night. This was like 8. This was probably like 8:30. Concert ends at 10. There's a hard out because of a curfew. So me and my producer, we start to beeline through the crowd, literally just probably like a COVID cesspool. And we start beelining it through the crowd. And there is in the back of that concert, like you could see like the crowd way even further back behind the crowd was all of the barbecue places from across the country. So we're like, let's just go get some barbecue. We get back there. First place, everything sold out. Second place, everything sold out. AD, I'm not lying to you when I say this. We went through 20 different barbecue restaurants, and the only item that was not sold out on any of their menus,
cornbread.
Oh no, I would have gladly taken some.
Oh no, worse than that. Okay,
watermelon salad.
Oh man,
watermelon salad. So we were like, yeah, no. So we went for one more lap, and then like on the second lap around, we were like, we asked every single pit, like, you guys got anything? You got anything? And they're all starting to smoke their meats for the next day.
Because it was a couple-day concert. Yeah.
So we're like, oh, there was one line that was still selling bratwurst and burgers, and it was a long ass line. So we got in that, and I got 2 double cheeseburgers, like literally right before that line shut down. It was I was really disappointed. You go to Windy City Smokeout, you expect to be smoked out. I was not. I did not get much barbecue. I didn't get any barbecue at all. So
were you there just that one day then?
I was just and I wanted to go back the next day, but we had people in town. I just couldn't make it back out. So
that's still really cool though. That's you were there for the best part. You were there for the best part.
Hootie.
Besides the barbecue, but that's
exactly. Exactly. All right. Sorry, that was a long good, but wanted to get that out. So what do you got for your back?
My back of the week. One sec. I should have here. My back of the week, the home run derby tonight.
Yes,
and also little known, the draft was yesterday. MLB draft.
Yeah,
I did not know that was happening until yesterday. There was someone from my hometown that was drafted number 8 yesterday.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
well,
they went to Redland.
Nice. Oh, rival school though, right?
Rival school, but hey, I'll say
you'll take that.
I'll say hometown for that.
All right.
Yeah.
New Cumberland, right?
Yeah, New Cumberland, PA. But he went to Redland and he got drafted by the Rockies. So that's pretty cool. I mean, they said his spot. This all confuses me because, first of all, these players being drafted in the MLB aren't going to have an impact on the team until 3-4 years, right? Like at least, maybe in some instances a little bit before that.
Yeah, I was talking to some friends about that the other day. Like the NHL draft and the MLB draft are probably the least exciting drafts, just because of like the payoff will not come for 5 years probably.
At least, so. That's what kind of sucks about the draft, because you don't know what these players are even going to be. Like the Pirates had the first pick and they picked a catcher, but when are we going to be able to see what this guy's going to got?
Right. That's if we ever do get to see the guy.
Because odds are he could get traded before he even steps foot on the Pirates team. But it's interesting to see that all this happens. And so is this an off week then for baseball?
Oh yeah.
So that's why you said it was the worst week in sports.
Because the All-Star break, the home run derby's tonight. All-Star game is tomorrow. And then games don't resume until I think Friday. There may be 1 or 2 games that resume on Thursday.
The home run derby is always fun though. And as we tweeted out earlier, this is the anniversary or the last time the home run derby was in Colorado, in Denver. The kid, Ken Griffey Jr., won the derby. And that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah, you know the backstory behind Griffey in that home run derby.
I didn't until you tweeted it. He joined late, was it?
Yeah, so I posted a blog today, kind of with more info on the story. But yeah, so he a couple of hours he wasn't participating. He announced back in like June that he wasn't going to participate in the home run derby, and then hours before the home run derby started, Junior's like everyone was like, "Come on, you got to play, like you got to do it." And I think Frank Robinson of all people like talked Griffey into doing it. And so a couple of hours before the home run derby started, he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And so he jumps into the field. And back then it was like American League versus National League. And I'm pretty sure. And it wasn't like the playoff format like it is now. And so he joined, and then sure enough, he ends up pairing with Jim Thome in the finals. Like he advances and ends up winning the whole thing with 19 home runs. And this was back when it was like 10 outs. Any swing that was not a home run wasn't out. So that
was a record, right? 19.
At the time, I'm pretty sure it was in 3 rounds. And so and then he goes off and wins the damn thing. Like he hours before this thing starts, he's not even going to do it. And then he just like, all right, let's do it. And then he just goes in, backwards cap.
Junior.
Bam. Like just freaking.
It's showtime.
Hey, call me Junior.
It's showtime. And then I think he went back to back because 98 and 99, I believe, where he was crowned champion.
Yes. And that paired with because he won it in, I think, 93 and 94 too, I think.
But what can't this guy do, you know?
he makes baseballs leave the yard. He runs for president in 96. He
has his own shoes.
He makes great video games. I mean, he falls asleep on a recliner on his return trip back to Seattle late in his career during a game. People don't like to talk about that one.
He's from Western PA too.
Oh yeah, Dorma. Mm-hmm. Same birthday and birthplace as what's his name? Friggin' Merritt. No, not Maris. Why am I blanking on his name? Cardinals great. No. Cardinals great. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
I'll look it up.
The man. Stan Musial. Jeez.
Jeez. Okay.
Goodness.
That's all right. We got it.
I'm literally just yelling the man at you right now.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah. You're like, that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah. Wait, anyway, who?
That's, if anything, that broadens the field of who I think it could be.
So we mentioned that Griffey won in 98 and 99. 98 was obviously in Colorado. 99 was in Fenway. So I think that he was like a shoe-in for that one, no matter what, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With left field with the Green Monster, you know, it's like it.
Yeah, he had to.
Perfect for a lefty.
So okay. So you brought up home run derby. I'm gonna go ahead and jump ahead to my ugly because I have a take that kind of piggybacks off of that.
Okay. All right.
My ugly of the week is home run derby hot takes. You're going to see some tonight while you're watching. While you watch the home run derby, you know, the baseballs aren't the only thing that will be flying out of the home run derby.
Well, and you know what? A lot of the takes are going to come around Shohei Ohtani, you know, like how, because he's starting the
game. No. But these are the hot takes that come every single year, regardless of who's competing. Okay, but that is also awesome. Shohei Ohtani competing in the home run derby, and then tomorrow starting pitching and batting leadoff for the American
lead off
tomorrow.
Too.
That's the most badass thing I've ever seen. Shohei Ohtani, not enough love is going to this guy. Even if there's a ton of love going to it, it's still not enough. But the home run derby hot takes, there will be people who will rip the home run derby for being boring. And
yes.
To that, I'm just gonna say screw those people. Screw them. Because those were the same people who were calling the home run derby boring a few years ago. before Major League Baseball came in and completely altered the contest. They added a clock. They took away the swings per outs. Yeah. Like to me, the home run derby now is awesome. I've always liked the home run derby, but I agree. It was getting stale. It was kind of like it was long.
It was boring. It was a little boring.
Long. Yeah, it was a little boring. Like especially if you're getting late into the contest. Now with this clock, it is fun. And it's like there's strategy involved. You have to not tire yourself out. There's like stamina that's involved in the whole thing. You have to call timeouts like whenever you need to. Like it's exciting again. But those losers who rip it now, like what more did they want? That you said MLB should change it. They did.
They did change it.
So right now you just have an unmatched standard for fun, and you suck. All right. So if you're out there like complaining, like flexing your keyboard muscles tonight about the home run derby and how boring it is.
Keyboard warriors.
The home run derby was never for you. The home run derby isn't for you. All right. If you need something more exciting, there's plenty of other things to keep you distracted from the home run derby night. Go watch them. You don't have to be freaking live tweeting about how much it sucks and how boring it is. To me, you wanted it more exciting. MLB made it more exciting. So don't keep bitching about how boring the home run derby is.
Hey, you bring up a good point, my friend.
Sorry. I just get so tired. And like they're the same people that are like, baseball needs pace of play rules. It doesn't matter if baseball made their games 15 minutes. You still wouldn't watch it. That's just the way
you'd find a way to bitch about it.
It's right? Like if I bitch to my wife about musicals and I said, babe, I hate musicals. They should be shorter. If they were shorter, I still wouldn't watch them because I hate musicals. That's the same way with baseball people. And honestly, Rob Manfred needs to stop like catering to those people. He needs to stop catering to those people because he's going to lose the people he already has now. Quit like altering the sport to make it better when you could just go and like when there are ways to make the sport better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the game's perfect by any means.
Right.
But by altering trying to bring in fans that aren't going to come in anyway, that's a recipe for failure. That's my little tangent.
I like that, but also I was just thinking about this now. I like that the MLB is like they did the draft yesterday and today.
Yeah, which that's new. That's new. They did the draft.
That's new, right?
Yeah, they used to do the draft during what didn't they do it? They used to do it which I guess that they may have changed it this year because of COVID or something. But they used to do it I want to say they did it the night before the College World Series.
Oh.
And so I think they maybe they moved it to the All-Star weekend. But either way, they're trying to make it like a celebration of baseball this week, and I think it's smart. I think it's great.
I like
might as well. There's no other sport other than this year because the NBA finals are later than they would be. But other than this year, like there's no other sport competing with you. Own the week. Do like the NFL does and just own everything when you can, when it allows.
What does the home run derby winner get? Is it the truck or is that the MVP?
Oh, that's the MVP of the All-Star game. But they do get a crystal bat, I think. That's
what it is. That's what it is, yeah.
But yeah. Okay. What's your I know you just hit me with your back. I guess what's your ugly now?
My ugly of the week, let me pull it up here. So earlier this week, James Harden, as you know, is no longer in the playoffs. He was out. He was bumped. The whole team, the Nets team, they're enjoying vacation now. But our guy James Harden was having some fun in Paris this week. So here's a picture of him and little baby, or is it Lil
baby? Yeah,
Lil baby,
like from Rugrats. Phil and Lil. It's
yes. So they were in Paris at Fashion Week, and they were arrested actually in Paris, or little baby was at least, and Can you, like, just based on this picture, do you know, unless you already heard about it, do you know why they were arrested?
I think I heard about it. But go ahead and tell me.
Well, just look at Lil Baby's face, and it might give it away. What was going on there? The guy is stoned out of his mind, and he. So I'm just gonna read like what happened here. So law enforcement arrested Lil Baby, but not James Harden. That was the key. That was the key word of this story. Not James Harden. Although they were together, he was not involved in what was happening here.
Sure, right.
Not really sure why he was not included in that, but
right. Yeah. Yeah, when you're hanging out with Lil Baby, it's not often you're also partaking in what Lil Baby is doing.
Right. Or if you're riding in the same van as him.
Yeah.
Like, so Lil Baby was taken into custody with one other person on a drug charge. The person says Harden was not arrested or taken into custody. So he was just like standing there, I guess. Sources close to Harden tell us that Hooper did not break any laws and was allowed to go about his day. Right, because, he's letting Lil Baby take the fall for whatever it was that they were doing.
Yeah, and James Harden, sure, like he looks like he always has the munchies, but he probably was not doing what Lil Baby was doing.
No. Maybe if this was a couple months ago when he was still on the Rockets, maybe perhaps it would be.
Yeah.
But
when he was James Hardy's, then he maybe.
Yes, James Harden. Anyway, I just got to pull this other picture up. So the cops, this is them. Obviously, their face is not. They're high. They're high right now. But this is what the cops were after here. This is what they got from the car. Sorry, one sec. There it is. Oh, this little vape right here. This is what they got.
That's what they got out of the whole car?
From they're inspecting it, like they're like, making sure, like what is this? What's going on here? Holding what appears to be a vaping device. Unclear who it belongs to or whether it contained the alleged marijuana. Now, this is like, we're in 2021, weed legal in how many states in the US?
Sure.
And they're still like arresting people for a vape or like something like it's like ridiculous. Like they are enjoying Fashion Week the best way they know how, and clearly that's what they were doing.
They're not little babies anymore,
They're not little babies anymore.
Let them live their lives.
Oh boy, that one was free.
All right, yeah. No, you're right.
They're not little babies anymore. No. They're adults. They're adults.
They're adults. I'm in you with that one.
Yeah.
With your adults from England was so happy to be here up in space, and remember.
Can you read this here? This is just funny how they wrote it too. Baby was seated in the back of a policeman, like he's just like a little baby, like.
Lil Baby and Harden are in the French city for Paris Fashion Week. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, but
I always thought that like Europe was just much looser with all of their like weed protocols.
Like they let like kids drink over there, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
There's no drinking age, and they're gonna like pull someone over for a little vaping device.
I'm pretty sure you get arrested if your blood alcohol content isn't 0.08 over there. Because they drink so much wine, so much just alcohol, and they, Amsterdam is known for. I'm pretty sure like Amsterdam is the Hershey, PA of drugs. Like Hershey, PA, you can go to the Hershey chocolate factory. In Amsterdam, you can go to the drug factory where they make all the drugs for the entire world.
And then guess who else was in Paris or Monte Carlo, one of those places? our other guy, and who ran into James Harden.
Hang on, that was the most American response ever. Guess who else was in Paris or Monte Carlo? One of those.
Whatever.
Places.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like Rome or Turkey.
Let's just call it Europe.
Oh my gosh! Look at that cast of characters.
Samuel L. Jackson
and James Harden. That is the most random group of guys possible, I think.
Look, so Magic apparently was with Samuel L. Jackson. He said, "Look who Samuel L. Jackson and I ran into in Monte Carlo." So that's where they were. NBA All-Star, MVP, and entrepreneur. I didn't realize he was an entrepreneur. Is he invested in the weed business? Is that what he's doing?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good question. Yeah. What is he entrepreneuring? Probably not much, other than maybe like beard products or something. But like, my question is, what are like James Harden like? I mean, Magic Johnson. I thought Magic Johnson was freaking like whatever happened to Cookie? Why is he not vacationing with Cookie? His wife. Why is he out there with Samuel Jackson
and James Harden?
Yeah, well, but he said, but the way the tweet's written is, look who I and Samuel Jackson look. Okay, like Irvin, that's not the question we want to answer. The question we want to answer: what the hell are you and Samuel L. Jackson doing in Monte Carlo together?
I didn't even realize they were friends. Like I didn't even think that they were like maybe they were in a Capital One commercial.
You know what I think? And I don't think this is a bad take to have, but I'm pretty sure once you get to a certain level of fame, you just automatically become friends with everyone.
Okay, I was thinking about this the other day because LeBron posted a picture with him and Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Like the artist.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, they definitely weren't friends, you know, like obviously they weren't friends before
Bad Bunny was big.
Bad Bunny became famous.
Yeah.
But like, at what point did Bad Bunny's fame get to a point where like LeBron's like, all right, you know, I'll hang out with him, or like,
I'm pretty sure there's a level of fame that you hit where there's a level of fame where you hit where it's just like all of a sudden your phone like vibrates and it's like, and you look and like all of a sudden you have a whole new contact list. Like it just gets uploaded to your phone from the cloud.
It's just like everyone has
a cloud.
A blue check on Twitter, like that's like your new contact list.
Yes, like, yeah. All of a sudden, you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, wait, wow! I've got freaking Dua Lipa's number in here. I didn't even. You're like, whoa, geez! I didn't realize.
Chris trying Martin, to hang out tonight?
Chris Martin from Coldplay? Is that seriously like?
Brendan Fraser just invited me to a party. Like,
wow, Miles Teller is in this thing now. What the heck? Yeah, Brendan Fraser. I'm calling him. Hey, Brendan. It's me, Austin. And he's like, I'm sorry, who? I just got famous. He's like, oh, okay. Well, what's up? Welcome to the crew.
I just got my blue check mark, Brendan.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay. All right. My I guess I'll go. I go back to my back because I already gave my away.
Go back.
Okay, so I'm going back to my back. It is so Nikita Kovacic, I believe his name is, for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning are having their parade. Okay.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's my back. My back is championship parades in Tampa again. Freaking Tom Brady, man.
Did you see that chart of like everywhere that Tom's been, like where he's lived? Like California was like the 49ers, and then like when he moved to Michigan.
No, are
like
you kidding?
Red Wings.
This goes before ball. Oh my gosh,
What?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, because in the late 90s, the Red Wings were on fire.
Red Wings, and then so yeah, it was obviously the 49ers, and the 49ers haven't won since he left. And the Red Wings haven't won since he left, and then he gets to Boston, and we all know what's happened in Boston. Yeah,
and now he's down in Tampa, and literally, I mean, the Rays were 2 wins away from having them go for their trifecta. So, my gosh! All right, so this is my Nikita Kovacic is is on the Lightning Championship parade. I just want to play this first part because it is, to me, is the funniest thing. My man was sloshed, just completely hammered, and yet still conducting this interview. And I just want to play this first part.
Unreal. All the people right here, unreal. Love them all. Let's party hard. Our time, baby. Back to back. That's how we do it.
What do you think of this team?
Unbelievable.
So that right there. First of all, he's like, on back to back. He's like, that's how we do it. That's how we do it.
You could just tell in his voice that he was just absolutely hammered.
Oh, he's completely gone. But then he goes, what do you think of this crowd? And he says,
what do you think of this team?
Or this team? What do you think of this team? What is the word that he says next?
Unbelievable.
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 It's just not even close to English.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's like I want to say it's unbelievable, but there's no way he enunciates that to make it be unbelievable.
No, not even close.
Unbelievable.
The guys in the background is laughing. Like they know how drunk he is, you know. But they're like I can't believe he's doing this interview right now.
Nobody can beat us. Also, and of course, yeah. Well, it's like yeah, no one can beat you because you guys were like over 18 million over the salary cap during the playoff run. Because
were they really?
Yeah. Did you hear about all that? The
No, I did
NHL.
not.
NHL's like they've got this rule where like you can go over the salary cap in the playoffs. Like if a guy's injured,
you can pick someone else up.
You can sign someone, and like the salary cap only extends for the regular season or something to where it's like so like if someone gets injured and you sign someone else, you can get someone else. Like if they get healthy during the playoff run, you can add them to your active roster. And so the Lightning had a lot of that. They signed a bunch of dudes. And so everyone's like, well, yeah, of course they're going to be the best team in the playoffs because they had $18 million over the salary cap with the guys that they had on their team.
That's a lot of money in the NHL too.
That is right. Yeah, that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, if you ask me, like, I think it's.
Is this the guy that got the Bud Light sponsorship because of his interview?
Say that again?
Is this the guy that got the Bud Light sponsorship because of his interview?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Did someone get a Bud Light sponsorship today?
Someone got a sponsorship.
Because this just happened today, this morning.
Okay. So I'm talking, this must have been like right after the game.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Coors sold that beer with the ice, brewed from the ice that they won the championship on. But to me, I don't know. If you're going to drink that kind of beer, to me, that's
unbelievable.
Oh, it was Kucherov that got the Bud Light sponsorship. I think it was because of his post game interview. He said something about or either he was drinking a Bud Light or one of the two. But
jeez, that's
they gave him a Bud Light sponsorship, and I'm sure this guy's probably next. Who was that?
Nikita Kucherov.
Oh, that was Kucherov. Okay, all right. I don't know what these guys look like without their helmets on.
Yeah, no, I barely know what they look like with their helmets on.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Kucherov was the one that got the Bud Light sponsorship after the game.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was my my back of the week. Also, my back of the week, which we kind of hit on it earlier. Soccer people, big weekend for soccer people. To
pretend like be a soccer fan, like pretend like you care, and like
so soccer people are like the groundhogs on Groundhog's Day. Like every so often they come out, and and then they see their shadow, and then they
every
go back
4 years to the World Cup.
Their whole it's like everyone's like, oh my gosh, I'm so invested in the Euro. Like really, name 3 of their albums.
You sounded pretty good there saying the Euro. Like it was like.
See, I don't even know if I said it right. I was
thinking you were a soccer fan with that.
Oh man. Oh, and then my last ugly of the week is UFC and the Conor McGregor fight. Did you see this thing?
Oh yes. Did I see Conor McGregor's leg? Or
yeah. Speaking of all-star breaks, my goodness.
Oh wow.
Hey,
wow.
Look, and you know what? I would talk all about it but I don't want UFC to take down the stream.
Yeah,
so,
let's just forget it. Yeah, that's
you know what? Forget it, UFC. I hope many of you illegally stream this thing and watched it that way.
You know what? Since we're not talking about the UFC, I have one more video to share.
Okay, yeah, we're not talking about the UFC. What the
Look at
hell?
this guy. So this guy broke the world record for most pineapples on head cut in half in 30 seconds. So he cut 75 pineapples in half. But if you watch the video, though, you can tell he misses a couple.
Yeah, he missed that one.
He missed a few. So I think
it must not be consecutive pineapples, right?
Well, we need to go back to the drawing board here if we think this is a record.
Imagine being one of those guys.
And that's the other thing I wanted to say. Like, imagine signing up for that. Like,
yeah, like what'd you do today? Oh, I held a pineapple in my head while a guy broke a Guinness Book of World Records.
I was a part of a world record.
Guinness Book of World Records are to the point where it's like, all you got to do is just add another element to anything, and you can get a Guinness World Record.
Like someone's probably already cut 75 pineapples that were on the table, but now
but these are on someone's head. Like, and someone else is going to be like, oh well, I cut them with a with like a ninja sword, and he's clearly got a machete. So I'm gonna. Also, what happens if he just cuts one of the people? There's
got to be some like, and I also read in the caption that they didn't waste any of the pineapple, because I was also wondering about that. Like
that's good. So they ate it all to celebrate.
And the other reason I wanted to bring it up is because we talked about this before, how long it takes for a pineapple tree to grow pineapples.
And that's a great point.
Years in the making. So this is like 4 years of work that is just being chopped in half by machine.
Yeah, that's a lot of pineapples. Yeah, pineapples take 2 years to mature, I think.
Yeah, 4 years,
and only on one plant, I think, something like that. That was our Frank fact.
That was a Frank fact. So
yeah, which is actually glad that you brought that up, because now it's time
for
the Frank fact. It's time the part of the show where we get a comment from our guy Frank, and then we just marvel in it. So today's Frank fact is in 1980, the FBI created a fake company and attempted to bribe members of Congress. Almost 25% of those tested accepted the bribe and were convicted.
That's amazing.
That is so like 1 in 4 congressmen were like, yeah, okay, I'll take that bribe. Like,
and that just shows that like clearly it's happening all the time. Like,
yeah. Well, and that was
they're so willing to do it. Like,
and that was in 1980. Think about what it's like tonight. I would be willing to bet. Like, part of me kind of would like FBI. Like, what are you doing? You up right now? Like, let's maybe see if there's a fake company going.
Maybe they'll do it again.
Yeah, FBI. I'm sure you're tapped into this live stream just for NSA purposes.
Hey, FBI, run it back.
Yeah,
let's do it again.
First of all, FBI, rate, review, and subscribe. Thanks. Check out the podcast, but then also
the store as well. The store.
Yeah, we got the merch. And FBI, maybe help us get our account back from Zuckerberg.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing we need your help with. Yeah.
FBI, like we know you have the phone contacts for Mark Zuckerberg. So maybe just hit us, help us get our Instagram account back.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, I just think there's not a chance. I like that 25% is probably even higher today. It is there. Then that just shows you how terrible Congress is and the people in it.
That's brilliant, though. I'd love to see a movie about that.
Yeah, that's a great point. That would make a great movie.
I think we should cut this off now. Write the script real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll get a green light or something.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's throw up let's like in between writing our blogs, we'll write a script for this movie and do it. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Casual. Yeah.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you. AD, before we go, quick, name a woman.
Sally Ride. That's a special space.
Have you not said Sally Ride like a million times before?
No. I've done Stevie Nicks. That's a big one.
I'm pretty sure you've done Sally Ride before.
But this is different because we're talking about space. We're talking about space.
Okay. All right. Well, hey guys, don't forget to water your plants.
That's also good. Yeah. Hey, I would go out and water mine now, but we just got some rain, so
that's true. You don't even have to. You're in good shape. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Rate, review, subscribe. Right. And yeah, thank you for all the support. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And AD, what's the word I say to end this thing?
It's the same one that we've been using to start it.
Yeah. What is that? I forgot.
Ahoy. Ahoy.
That's right. Ahoy.
There it is.